Alright, what's up again, my friends? Carpo here. It's getting kind of late. I should probably get in, relax, tuck the kids into bed. But at the last minute after making my previous video, I realized this is the one I needed to make the other day, and I just haven't mentioned it yet. And it's something that I really should talk about, and that is the latest DEA declaration of CBD being a Schedule 1 substance. Now, when I talked about this years ago, there were still people learning about CBD, but today people are pretty educated. I think that most of you have probably heard of CBD, which is a cannabinoid which is found in cannabis, just like THC, which gets you high, but the CBD obviously is different, and it's a medical component, and it does not get you high. But it has been shown to help in children with seizures, specifically. It helps many different ailments, but it's also sold as, I'm not going to go into the details of what it will and will not help. Each individual is different, but for the most crucial aspect is that it helps children who have seizures. And I know people personally, not just through secondhand stories, but friends of friends who have said, wow, his daughter was having like up to 20, 30 seizures a day and cut down to just like 2. This is serious medicine for people who need it. And the way it acts is really, the information's out there, and I'm not going to try to explain cannabinoids and how they work. I'm going to say this is another issue of Mr. Chuck Rosenberg overstepping the DEA's authority on substances. And, there is a Denver-based law firm who is pursuing this lawsuit against the DEA for this now. I'm not sure where it stands right now, but apparently they're saying, this is wrong because CBD, which is derived from industrial hemp, should not follow the same guidelines. But the issue is much deeper than that. It also should include oils and extracts, because I believe that there are a variety of other cannabinoids which assist in a synergistic effect, because cannabis, people have tried to isolate cannabinoids for decades. They made a drug called Marinol back in the 60s or 70s, and it was a THC synthetic alternative, and the patients didn't like it. They liked smoking cannabis. And come to find out that THC by itself just doesn't seem to have the same effect as smoking cannabis, a bowl of flour. And I've had the same issue with extracts in my time, and I found that I prefer whole flour to extracts, but that's for another time. This video is mostly just to say shame on you, Mr. Rosenberg, and shame on the DEA. We just got done battling for Kratom, and who knows where that's going to go now. But we, the people who fought for Kratom, were able to get a DEA scheduling, which was most likely imminent after 30 days, deferred. And now it's been a couple more months, and we had a public comment period which has ended almost a month ago now. So it remains to be determined what is going to happen with Kratom. However, CBD is another issue completely altogether, because it's not an unprecedented issue. Cannabis was already made illegal. We understand the implications, and science has had time to work with CBD now. It's not a new compound. It is an amazing substance, and the fact that they are doing this, basically what they're doing is classifying it into basically reiterating the fact that it is a Schedule 1, that all extracts, including CBD, are considered Schedule 1. And here's the idea. A Schedule 1 drug is shown to have absolutely no medical benefit and to be highly addictive or have a high potential for abuse. So you tell me how CBD in any way, shape, or form fits that criteria. All of you out there should sign the petition at the very least and do what you can to fight for this. I know that it's bigger than all of us, and I can't stand the thought that Big Pharma's involved and have their hands all over this shit. But they always do. And I say shame. It's one thing if large companies want to be greedy, selfish, hoard their patents and their products and their medicines. But it's different when there are life-saving natural remedies. If you want to patent your chemical and sell it for a ridiculous markup, then so be it, if that's what capitalism entails. But when it comes to plant medicine, this should be forbidden to be stepped on by any agency, DEA, FDA, or otherwise. And I'd like to know anybody's opinion out there who, doubtfully anybody who's watching this long will be a defender of making CBD illegal, but if there is one out there, I challenge you to tell me why it should remain illegal. Cannabis itself, in my state, it's legal. I can smoke it when I want. I can go down to the grocery store basically and buy it. There's little corner stores down there, and they're very nice and have fine cannabis. And there are states next to me who have no option to do such a thing. In fact, if they're caught smoking a joint, they'll be in prison. That to me is a major contrast of values, but the states vote on that independently, okay? The same should be said for CBD. Now, what I would imagine is in my state, come to think of it, probably will not be affected by the CBD law at all whatsoever, because we already go against federal law, so it's going to remain fine. But for those who live in places, say in the South, where they're very anti-drug and they ban basically everything, you know, it's something to think about, that the people need to step up to the plate and stop this nonsense. There's only so much I can do from sitting here at my home. I can't fight for the rights of other states, but I can help you sign petitions, and I can do whatever I can. You know, whenever I'm called to action, so to speak, I will. And, you know, it's unfortunate that every one of us who does step up and try to rebel against this, we do put ourselves it's at our own peril. We put ourselves in harm's way. The more you resist the system, the more you're put into the system and shown to be a nuisance. And, you know, maybe 20 years ago I would say, well, they're going to put us all on a list and haul us up to FEMA camps. But, you know, today I realize, of course, you know, my youth is over. I don't believe in the larger possibility of us ever being corralled, so to speak, because we the people are pretty damn intelligent, and we're pretty damn crafty, and we're pretty damn smart, and the internet's shown a little bit more about who we really are, and I think that that's going to be to our advantage in the end. It's to stand together. I'd like to sit and talk about CBD all day, but I gotta go. So I'll talk to y'all later. It's a wonderful medicine.